exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! Alright, guys. So, I wasn't planning on triple uploading today. But then I go on Twitter and I see Stephon Gilmore is trending. And I'm like, oh, maybe the Patriots got him back. They re-signed him. Gave him a big contract. Not a huge contract because he is 30 or in his 30s. But maybe like a 2-year extension. Maybe worth around like $20-25 million. And they brought him back because God knows this Patriots team needs some help at corner. But then I click on the trending tab. I click on the Stephon Gilmore trending. And I see that the New England Patriots, in all their wisdom, and all their glory, and all their galaxy brain moves, have released Stephon Gilmore. Released him. Now, you guys maybe realize I got a freaking Patriots shirt on today. You guys may be realizing that my tone is not as happy and jubilant as it normally is. And that's because this news is not happy or jubilant to me. This is a different situation than the whole Cam Newton situation. I was upset about that, but that's because I felt like you released Cam Newton without even trying to trade him away. Now, maybe they did behind the scenes and just didn't say anything. That's a possibility. I'll give them that. But I feel like you just cut Cam without even giving it a second thought. You could have gotten even a 7th round pick for Cam. There would have been some team that's desperate. The football team, the Washington football team would have been desperate enough to give you a 7th round pick. I'm not asking for a first. I'm not asking for a second or a third. I'm just asking for a 7th for Cam. Just get something for him. You don't just let him go. But they did. They did. And I was upset about that. I was definitely upset about that, but this situation right here that we are in right now is 10 times more upsetting to me than the whole Cam Newton situation. Because Cam Newton was a good player. Yeah, he was a former MVP, and he quarterbacked in a Super Bowl. He played in a Super Bowl, and yeah, he was a good quarterback. But the Cam Newton that you had in New England was nowhere near the same Cam Newton that was on the Carolina Panthers. It was a shell of his former self. So I can understand what they did there. But Stephon Gilmore, yeah, he's had some injury concerns later in his career. But you've got a former defensive player of the year. You've got that was just like 2019 was the year he won it. And you've got a former all-pro corner that you just let go for nothing? For nothing? There had to have been a team. Now, I'm not saying that you trade him for a 1st round pick or 2 1st round picks. There had to have been a team that would give you maybe a 3rd and a 4th combo or a 5th and a 6th combo. Something to help the future of this team. Now, 5th and 6th round picks don't usually help the team out, but you never know. There could be a diamond in the rough, but just get something for these players. I don't understand cutting players. I just don't understand it. It's not computing in my brain why you would just straight up cut a valuable asset. Now, maybe they think that Stephon Gilmore is not a valuable asset, anymore. And I can see that. He's had a little bit of a dip in production. He hasn't been the same Stephon Gilmore that he was previously when he was winning Defensive Player of the Year and he was becoming All-Pro. I understand that situation. But there had to have been a team out there that would be willing to give you something for Stephon Gilmore. Now, doing a little bit of research, because you know I got to do my due diligence, I saw that the Patriots, and I knew this, that the Patriots were over the cap. They've been notorious for being up against the cap, if not over it. And this year they were over it. But they were over it by $5,400. Now, to me and you, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But to a $1 billion valued organization, to a $1 billion owner in Bob Kraft, that is blow your nose in $5,000. Like he wipes his butt with $5,400. That is pennies to Robert Kraft. And you're telling me that he couldn't just pay that? He couldn't just pay the cap? Because owners do that. If you didn't know, owners in the NBA, in the NFL, in Major League Baseball, although I don't think there's a salary cap in Major League Baseball, but in the leagues that have a salary cap, they pay that when they go into the hard cap or the luxury tax. That's what it's called. It's called luxury tax. You pay that when you go into it. You go over it. So you're telling me that to get under the cap, they had to cut somebody, and you chose a former All-Pro corner to cut. You didn't even give him a chance to see what he had left in him. He hasn't played all season, and you cut him. And now they're like $5.8 million under the cap. They have cap room. Because, yeah, go figure, you cut a big contract in Stephon Gilmore. But his contract wasn't big enough to where it would scare off teams from trading him. I just thought it doesn't register in my mind the fact that you would do this with such a valuable piece. You could have got something. There had to have been a team. The Eagles, the Rams, the Bills, the Falcons. It doesn't matter what team. There had to have been a team that needs a corner that would be willing to give you a fifth or a fourth or something, or just give them cash. There's been plenty of trades in the past where teams have given straight cash to the other team for a player, or pick considerations, or stuff like that. There had to have been something. You cannot walk away from this with nothing, and that's what the Patriots are doing. It's frustrating. They do this all the time. They cut players. And the thing about the Patriots is they're known for letting go of players before they become bad. They've done this plenty of times with Jamie Collins, Randy Moss, Richard Seymour, all these guys they've let go before they've become a worse player, and then the team that picks them up, they become a worse player, and the Patriots look like geniuses because they knew this was going to happen, and they let him go before it happened on their team, so they got out of it. And yes, the Patriots have done good on that, but they've also been wrong a few occasions, and I think this is one of them. Stephon Gilmore, I feel like, has some good years left in him. It may not be all-pro level, but at this point, you don't need to have him at all-pro level because you've got J.C. Jackson. You've got an all-pro corner. You don't need to have two. All you need to have is Stephon Gilmore lock up the second receiver and maybe have a safety over top to help him because he might be a little bit slower now with his injuries and stuff. You have a safety over the top. You have Gilmore one-on-one, and then you go from there. Because you got J.C. Jackson. You don't need an all-pro corner now. You just need a quality corner because teams have been lighting you up. Teams have been lighting up the Patriots. Now, not Tom Brady because that was a whole different situation. Sloppy weather. It was bad situations all around. But, I mean, they did at the end there. Antonio Brown was starting to get open there at the end. The Dolphins did it against us. The Saints did it against us. The Jets tried to do it against us. If Zach Wilson was a better player, he would have done it against us. So, I mean, it's just frustrating when your team does things like this. And now maybe there might be a very, very good explanation for why they just released Stephon Gilmore. And maybe the explanation is they wanted to get underneath the cap, and now they are by $5.8 million. So now they have plenty of money to sign somebody else or re-sign contracts or do whatever they want. They have plenty of money now. That may be the explanation. Or maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something I don't know about. But that doesn't matter when it comes to a player of Gilmore's quality. And yes, I understand that Stephon Gilmore was not the same player that he was a couple of years ago. He was not giving up the same production that he was before when he was an All-Pro. And when he got injured, he was struggling. I understand. But it's Stephon Gilmore. He's not even, I don't even think he's like 31 yet. He might be in his his early 30s. But I guarantee you he still has a couple of years left of good production. And you just let that go for nothing. And now some team is going to pick him up for pennies on the dollar and get a very good corner for the rest of the season. That's the frustrating part, that you're going to walk away with nothing except for cap room, and some team, whether it be the Cowboys or whoever's interested in him, because I've been hearing rumors that the Cowboys are interested in him. You're gonna walk away with nothing, and whatever team picks him up is gonna walk away with a very good number 2 corner. Because Gilmore at this point is not a number 1 anymore. He's older. He's been having injury concerns. He's not a number 1 corner anymore at this point, unless he's on a really bad team. But if the Cowboys pick him up and you put him next to Trayvon Diggs, you can't throw against that. That's tough. That Cowboys defense would become that much better if they added Stephon Gilmore. So, and speaking of the Cowboys defense, they just released Jalen Smith. So maybe the Patriots want to sign Jalen Smith, and that's why they needed to free up this cap space. Maybe that's the concern, or maybe that's the reason they did this. That would be awesome, because back when Jalen Smith was coming out of the draft, I wanted the Patriots to draft him. Yeah, he had an ACL injury in college, and he was a risk when the Cowboys took him, and he even missed his rookie season, I think, because of the injury. But he was a productive player for a few seasons. Now this year he's struggling, and that's why the Cowboys cut him, which was a shocking move in its own right. But I wouldn't be mad at the Patriots picking him up, and maybe that's the thing they did. Maybe that's why they cut Gilmore, because Gilmore hasn't played for him. He wasn't going to play for him probably, and Jalen Smith could, because Lord knows the Patriots need help on defense everywhere. They need help at corner, they need help at linebacker, they need help at everything, because they're a 1-3 football team. You're a 1-3 football team, and you cut Gilmore? You cut Stephon Gilmore? I know they were trying to get these contracts figured out with Gilmore. It was a long conversation. They shopped him around. They asked teams about it. But they were probably asking for first-round picks. At this point, you can't get a first-round pick for Stephon Gilmore. Nobody wants to take that on. He had a big contract. He was injury-prone. And he was a little bit older. Nobody's going to take that anymore for a first-round pick. So, there had to have been somebody. I mean somebody who would give you a 4th or a 5th or something. They could give you, I don't know, $20 and a box of cigarettes. At least that's something for Stephon Gilmore. And yet you just walk away with absolutely nothing. I wasn't planning on doing this video, because I wasn't planning on Stephon Gilmore being released like that. I was expecting. I'm not mad that he's gone. I was already content with him leaving, because they were shopping him around. Oh, he might get traded. Oh, what's gonna happen? I was okay with him being moved at some point. What I'm mad about is you cutting him for nothing, for cap space. That's what I'm mad about. So I don't know, man. I guess you guys are getting lucky, because you're getting a juice rant, which is surprisingly not as scarce as I would like it to be. But you're getting a juice rant, and you're getting a triple upload today. So congratulations to you guys, because you get so much content, and you get me angry. So so whatever, man. I don't know at this point. It's the Patriots. It's so hard to be, people don't understand how hard it is to be a Patriots fan. Yes, we had a bunch of success. Yes, we had 6 championships. Yes, we had Tom Brady for 20 years. That's all gone now. That's all gone now. People don't understand that Patriots fans have gone from the top of the mountain, just going straight mountaintop, going cruising, smooth sailing, and then boom, plummet right to smack your face right at the dirt. Just bam, hit the dirt. That's the fall from grace that the Patriots have had. This is a bad football team, and you're just, it's, I don't even know at this point, man. I don't even know. It's so hard. It's so hard, man, to try and understand what Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and all these people in the front office are trying to do, the decisions they're trying to make, because they just don't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Whatever, man. It doesn't matter what I think. I'm just a fan. I'm still gonna be here if you're 0-17 or if you're 17-0. I'm still gonna be here through everything. So just I do whatever you want, I guess. I don't know, man. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. That's gonna do it for me, man. Peace.